Hi John, hi Venki.
Good evening, sir.
Hi Venki.
Hope you're better, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
அனைவருக்கும் இனிய மாலை வணக்கங்கள்.
My dear President, esteemed EC members, all my guests across the globe, fellowship delegates, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to IAGES 2021 at Coimbatore, now going on digital platform.
Coimbatore is an adorable city and it can be defined with an abbreviation of 5 letters, IAGES. I stands for the industrial capacity of Coimbatore. Coimbatore is known as the Manchester of South India due to its extensive spinning and textile mills, and it is also known as Pump City of Asia. And it houses around 50,000 micro, small and medium enterprises. It also adds on to the IT and as well as hospitality and hospital industry to its credit. A stands for the academic excellence of Coimbatore. With a literacy rate of 87%, not only it encompasses the normal colleges, it also encompasses agriculture university, forest colleges and marine colleges. G.D. Naidu is the icon of Coimbatore. He was born in Coimbatore. This genius is known as the Edison of India because of its innumerable inventions he had made. Next, E. E defines the export capability of Coimbatore. Coimbatore is a major exporter of poultry, jewelry, aluminium gadgets, auto parts, and as well as pumps. And it contributes to the 45% of Indian economy. Yes is the spiritual balance of the city, and it is the sweetest water of Sirvani, and it is the sweetest Tamil slang of the people. So with the IAGES, uniqueness has been embedded in Coimbatore. Coimbatore takes the privilege and pride in hosting this mega event, 18th IAGES Annual National Conferences.
Let us start IAGES 2021 with a big bang. Let's get all our dignitaries to do the dais for our inaugural and convocation ceremony. First, I would like to invite our pandemic president, our dynamic personality and hero of the show today, Dr. Raman Gainendra Goyal, and our patriotic founder president, Dr. Tegmentan Udwadia sir, and our dynamic president year 21-22, Dr. Sunil Popat, and our chairman, academic council, our past president, Dr. Saindev Dasgupta sir. And we have along with us the chief trustee, Dr. Venkatesh, chief advisor, Dr. John Tanakumar, organizing chairman, Dr. L.P. Tangavelu, and myself, Dr. Ishramurthy, organizing secretary, honorary secretary of IAGES, with my wife as an MC, Mrs. Ramaprabha. And we have with us our board conveners and also the chairman from FAGES board, endoscopy board and falls board will be joining for our function. And also we have our guests from our collaborating association Salisbury, Pakistan, Maldives and ALSGBI. We welcome them all, and let's go on to the inaugural ceremony of this colorful ceremony along with the convocation and the award ceremony.
Happy to see you all in this midst of the pandemic of corona which is ravaging the human race. Let us pray the Almighty to give us all the strength to succeed this conference and to combat this situation. Let us have a small prayer song.
கருவாக்கி உருவாக்கி எனையாண்டு காத்தருளும் இறைவா நன்றி. எங்கும் நிறைந்தோனே எல்லை இலாதானே எங்கேயும் எப்போதும் என் குலம் காப்பவனே. நெஞ்சம் துணிய துணையாய் வருவாய், நேர்மறை உணர்வுகள் பெருகிடச் செய்வாய். உடலில் உறுதியை பெரிதாய் தருவாய், உனை உணரும் அறிவை என்னுள்ளருள்வாய். சுற்றமனைத்தும் காப்பவனே, செய்தொழிலில் ஏற்றம் தருபவனே, எடுத்த செயலில் வெற்றி கொடு, என் ஆற்றல் பெருகிட அருளை கொடு.
Thank you, one and all. Now we move on to.
On behalf of our President, Organizing Chairman and my Organizing Co-Secretary, Dr. Aswin, we welcome you all for the success of this function.
Now we request Dr. L.P. Thangavelu sir, who is the organizing chairman and the president-elect, to deliver his welcome address. Dr. L.P. Thangavelu has this long dream of bringing a major minimal access surgery under the auspices of IAGES to Coimbatore team. His dream has come true today, and we request him to deliver the welcome address.
Good evening. Warm greetings to you from the team IAGES Coimbatore. I am honored and extremely happy to be here to welcome you all for this prestigious 80th Annual National Congress of our IAGES. I welcome our Chief Guest Dr. B.K. Krishnaraj Vanavarayar, Chairman of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, and several other educational institutions in and around Coimbatore. There are very few people who have read about the principles and ideologies of Gandhiji and Swami Vivekananda. There are even fewer who can articulate and speak about their ideologies with such clarity. But here is a man who not only speaks but lives by their principles and follows them on an everyday life. On behalf of the organizing team, I welcome you, sir. Our Congress President, Dr. Raman Goyal, a renowned bariatric surgeon in Mumbai, assumed office February 2020. Within a month, lockdown was imposed because of the pandemic. His team could not conduct fellowship courses, CME programs, midterm conferences physically, but he converted this negative situation into a positive one by conducting all these programs, including an Indo-UK conference virtually. During his period, more number of academic programs were conducted compared to normal situations and times. I welcome you, sir. I welcome our founder, President Professor Udwadia, who is the father of laparoscopy in India and a great inspiration to many surgeons who have taken minimal invasive surgery as their career. I welcome Professor B. Krishnarao, a great teacher for whom I have great respect. Dr. Sunil Papat, President of IAGES, is a dynamic surgeon and a very good academician from Ahmedabad. I welcome you. I welcome our organizing secretary, Dr. Iswaramurthy, our dynamic treasurer, Dr. Satyapriya D. Sarkar, our immediate past president, Dr. Sayandev Das Gupta, the chief trustee, Dr. Venkatesh, the chief advisor, Dr. John Tanakumar, senior colleague, Dr. Abhay Dalvi, our past presidents, Dr. Subhash Khanna, Dr. Ramesh Agarwala, our senior most leaders, Dr. Pradeep Chaube, Dr. Prasanna Reddy, Dr. Ajay Kriplani, Dr. M.G. Bhatt, Dr. Ravindranath, all are my good friends, our fellows of IAGES, to whom I extend my warm welcome. I welcome all the past presidents, advisors, trustees, organizing team, esteemed EC members, faculty and delegates. Friends, the entire world is struggling against COVID pandemic. In India, because of the second wave, the healthcare institutions are facing greater trouble for want of beds, drugs, oxygen, etc. In spite of all these inadequacies, the medical fraternity have extended their selfless services and many have even sacrificed their lives. We remember them and salute them at this moment. We wanted to organize this National Congress in a grand way at Coimbatore so that we could all meet each other in person and share our greetings and knowledge. Because of the pandemic, we have chosen wisely to meet all of you virtually, and we thank each and every one who understood and supported our decision. Yes, it is our wish that we should host a grand on-site national conference at Coimbatore in the near future, and for all of you to experience and enjoy the Congo hospitality. The next 2 days is going to be an educational fiesta. We have 5 halls, an array of more than 40 hours of live surgical demonstrations, 60 hours of lectures delivered to you by experienced and well-renowned national and international faculty on various subspecialties. You will be enlightened with salient points along with innovative techniques and tricks which will help you to enhance your practice. I wish all the best for your future. I pray for the safety of you and your families. Let us make it our responsibility to stay safe and ensure others' safety. Long live IAGES. Jai Hind.
A very enterprising welcome address.
Friends, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to our founder president, the soul of IAGES, the dynamic personality, the living legend, Padma Shri Professor Udwadia sir, for his founder president's address. Over to you, sir, for your words of wisdom to all these youngsters, younger generations eager to hear from you.
all the past presidents, trustees, especially all the executive government members, and most of all the delegates. It is appropriate that this meeting should and is being held, for the simple reason that this year has been a fantastic year of triumph, of facing adversity and overcoming it with strength, enterprise, and vigor. And there can be no doubt that this 1 year will go down in the history of IAGES as one where IAGES faced unthinkable situations, absurd problems, and came out on top. And for this, the entire team, the president, the secretary, the treasurer, every member of the executive committee, and every member of IAGES has done their best to put in a contribution. I'm sure this conference, the first of its kind in IAGES, will set it will set the bar for future conferences wherever and whenever they have, in terms of scientific content and through space in terms of fellowship and comradeship. I wish all of you a very happy conference and hopefully a similar conference in Coimbatore in time to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Now it is a time for us to invite our ever charismatic.
Let's go to all our collaborating association friends. Ladies and gentlemen, IAGES has spread its wings to all 5 zones in India. Then it reached to the regional level. Now it is going global. Now we have 4 collaborating associations with us today. The presidents, the representatives are with us. Let us ask our Professor Sarder Nayeem, the president of CELSB, to give his felicitation. We really appreciate his interest and we really admire his courage when he conducted the last December a successful digital international conference CELSB. Over to you, sir, Professor Sarder, for your words of wisdom.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Professor Nayeem.
This is great to see. IAGES is having this fabulous and very important virtual congress. And I'm sure from all over the subcontinent, our surgeons will be very encouraged to see this congress and enjoy the congress. And I'll be probably speaking in a later period again, but I'm really truly honored. And this collaboration with IAGES and ACLSB is really a great thing for all of us. And I believe this Congress will be a very, very successful one. And I'll come again to speak to you. I can see in the program. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting ACLSB members with free registration to join this Congress. Thank you very much.
Appreciate your interest and Tawhidul Alam, and also there are 20 of your colleague members, they joined in our fellowship program this year. Really very, very interesting mutual benefits we had. Next, let us go on to our neighbor, Professor Farooq Afzal. And Farooq, are you there? And we are really admire, he is the Surgical Society President, Lahore chapter. And let's move on to our ALS-GBI team. The President, Dr. John Meneses.
All right.
Yes, Farooq, are you there?
Hi.
How are you?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you, sir. Welcome
All right.
to IAGES 2021.
All right. Thank you. It's an amazing thing. I'm really enjoying the majesty of this function. It's a great pleasure, and thank you very much for the invitation. We are looking forward for a wonderful conference. It's just in 9 months or so, Raman Goyal and you team, you have impressed us a lot. And I think we're looking forward to learn from you in the next future. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Selva Segar. Thank you. We look forward to come to your country sometime soon once the COVID settles.
Sure.
Thank you. Let's have our friends ALS-GBI President Menzies, Professor Nader, Francis have given their felicitation over phone. I'm sure Dr. Selva Segar and Mr. Tan Arulombalam are with us now. If they are there, we like to hear from them. Over to Tan, Selva, are you there? And they will be joining us. And we also have our friends from Maldives. We send greetings to them. And now let us go on to our dynamic president. Our president, known for his dedication, known for his dynamism. He has been the driving force in the most challenging and difficult time for the mankind, especially in the Indian history because of this ravaging COVID pandemic. So let us hear from our president, his presidential address. Over to you, Raman. Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Ishamurthy, and respected founder president, Professor Tempton Udwadia, chief guest, Dr. B. Krishna Raj Vanavayar, invited orators for this conference, Professor Sarder Nayeem and Professor Michel Gagner, guests of honor from our collaborating associations, Chairman Organizing Committee, Dr. L.P. Thangavelu, my immediate past President, Dr. Saindev Das Gupta, my successor and current President of IAGES, Dr. Sunil Popat, other dignitaries, respected seniors and colleagues. I concur with the opinion of those who believe that given the health crisis, holding a conference is probably not appropriate. However, considering the preparation and commitment of organizing committee and fellowship candidates wait to receive their diploma certificates, I chose to stay course, avoiding fanfare and COVID risk to participants. Friends, with pain and anguish in my heart for fellow citizens struggling with the biggest healthcare crisis of our lifetime, I urge everyone to pray for our country, humanity, and healthcare workers at the forefront of this battle. May God bless souls of all those who lost their lives and give strength to their families and friends to bear this tragic loss. Annual conference is undoubtedly the most important event in the academic calendar of a national association. Past year had been a challenge to say the least, and thus most of us feel a sense of relief that we are at least able to reach this milestone. Whenever I think of minimal access surgery journey or my personal journey in minimal access surgery, I am reminded of early 90s when laparoscopy was in nascent stage and each surgery was a struggle with hardly any mentors. Every approach, every surgical plane was new, interesting and challenging. I am sure those who have lived those years understand what I mean. This was not only because we were novice, but equipments were not refined. And for everyone, including anesthetists, nurses, and technicians, this was something new. I remember in 1994, 2 anesthetists in my hometown refused to come for my surgeries because other surgeons could finish an open hernia in 40 minutes while we took endless hours. A proverbial statement those days was to replace the clock in the OT with a calendar, because probably we worked in the next date during one surgery. However, fortunately, the benefits were appreciated by patients early on and led to rapid acceptance of minimal access surgery. In a country where lack of social security exposes masses to risk of loss of job and maybe food on plate, reduced surgical morbidity and early return to work was probably God sent. I am glad that most of us persisted and the world changed for the better. Friends, IAGES is a purely academic association providing recertification programs in basic and advanced fellowship courses. And there are also specialty fellowship courses in hepatobiliary, GI endoscopy, colorectal, bariatrics, oncology, upper GI, hernia, and robotics. Realizing that skill improvement is much needed, founders of IAGES and my predecessors started these courses many years back. I am glad that even in a pandemic year, over 300 surgeons successfully completed these courses online and are proud recipients of diploma certificates today. I urge all my young surgical colleagues to introspect and choose a career path which gives them happiness. People working in quality control spectrum say that an organization should not work for profits, but for quality and client satisfactions. Profits always follow. I believe a professional is no different, and a life based on competence and ethics will invariably lead to personal growth. I wish all fellowship diploma recipients the very best in their lives. This year, IAGES is honored to confer honorary membership to 2 eminent minimal access surgeons from Canada and Bangladesh. We hope that this bond of affection and academic collaboration will be strengthened over years. Every president felicitates key persons who helped in execution of the year's agenda. This year it was an enormous task, as so many of the EC members and even non-members contributed in running the show. From the bottom of my heart, I wish to thank each one of you, as I cannot name everyone individually. However, I wish to especially thank and present presidential commendation to a few. Anand, can you start the PowerPoint presentation, please? Yeah. So, Dr. S. Ishwarmurthy, Honorary Secretary of IAGES, for standing by to help execute near impossible tasks. I will fail in my duty if I do not thank Prabha Ishwarmurthy, who not only spared her husband for a year, but worked behind the scene along with Mr. Rajaram for IAGES and all of us. Next, please. Dr. Pavninder Lal, for flawless execution of my dream project Indo-UK Surgicon. I am certain that a man of his competence and capabilities will lead India out of healthcare mess that we are in future. Next, please. Dr. Deep Goyal, my man Friday, to ensure smooth execution of many difficult projects. Besides other projects, his help to raise $51,000 for COVID task force is extremely commendable. Next, please. Dr. Satyapriya De Sarkar, probably the noblest soul that I have come across, and if I am allowed to say, a misfit for a treasurer's post. Endearing personality for his simplicity and plain speak. Next, please. Dr. Deepraj Bhandarkar, though not in the executive committee for last many years, his single-handed contribution to academic growth of IAGES through JMAS deserves an oration. However, since asking an oration for a young person like him appeared blasphemous to many, I wish to thank him from the bottom of my heart. Next, please. Dr. M. Kanagvel, editor of IAGES newsletter and convener of Prime Time, Kanagvel proved an invaluable asset to IAGES. Next, please. Dr. Anil Harur, again a non-executive committee colleague who helped create, run, and complete fellowship program in oncology with false board members. A team man, I foresee a great future for Anil in IAGES. Next, please. Dr. Randeep Vadhavan, though an extremely busy surgeon, Randeep proved himself capable of single-handed execution of false courses. Next, please. Dr. Meenakshi Sharma, a multitasker who ensured glitch-free FIAGES courses despite her family members' health problems during this year. Next, please. Dr. Sarfraz Beg, a thinker, philosopher, and creator. Sarfraz helped create awareness about our activities last year. Thanks, Sarfraz. Next, please. Dr. Ramesh Agarwala, for helping me execute another of my dream project, IAGES Research Academy. For a change, I am proud of finding a Hira as a Johari for this job. Next, please. Dr. Saindev Das Gupta, a friend and my predecessor. Sainda not only agreed to take responsibility as chairman of Academic Council, but helped identify academic award winners in a transparent and objective manner. Next, please. Friends, generally we take blessings from our senior, but here I wish to personally thank Professor Tempton Udwadia. Last 1 year was a learning experience for me, primarily through interactions with Professor Udwadia. His accessibility, situational analysis, and precise response helped me in my personal growth and in conduct of IAGES affairs as well. Next, please. During preparation of IAGES 2021, I became close to Dr. L.P. Thangavelu, organizing chairman and a persuasive senior, who helped me remain grounded, and I am convinced more than ever before that he will lead IAGES to greater heights next year as president. Besides these awards, next please, I wish to put on record my personal appreciation for Dr. Ramesh Punjani and Dr. Jaideep Palep for helping me in organizing the only physical event of 2021 flawlessly at Mumbai. Next please. I am grateful to my soulmate Madhu and my son Siddharth and Shreya for letting me occupy home space as working office of the President for a whole year. Thank you, Anand. Friends, I welcome all of you to our national conference. May God bless IAGES. Thank you so much.
Thank you, President, for your emotional, inspirational speech, ingraining with all the words of appreciation for your lieutenants. I'm sure you have been the guiding star for all of us, especially in the most difficult time. And there are lots of things we have done first time in the history of IAGES, the COVID task force, online courses, academic initiatives. I think you put the path of or the trajectory of IAGES towards the global level and making us all mature enough to lead from the front, taking the IAGES to the World Congress 2024. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the next prayer.
Let us, with all the eminent guests, let's get more enlightened by lighting up the Kutuvilaka just to destroy our all evils. Thank you. Now we move on to our introduction of chief guest. I like to invite Dr. Ashwin Thangavelu, an young and energetic and upcoming trainer, to introduce the chief guest, Dr. B.K. Krishnaraj Vanavarayar. Dr. B.K. Krishnaraj Vanavarayar is an academic giant, and he is a Gandhian devotee, and he is an exemplary speaker who can mesmerize us with his words. Over to you, Dr. Ashwin Thangavelu, for the introduction of the chief guest.
I am overwhelmed to introduce this amazing person who's a charming personality and a wonderful human being. I welcome Dr. B.K. Krishnaraj Vanavarayar. Thank you, sir, for joining us. We are honored. The actions and achievements of Dr. Krishnaraj are extraordinary. A lawyer who later also ventured into the field of business with great success, he has established various organizations and enhanced the livelihood and lifestyle of many. As a prominent leader of the Rotary movement, he has worked for universal peace and brotherhood. In appreciation of his service, Rotary has honored him with the Outstanding Citizen Award in 2001. He was also received the Lifetime Achievement Award in 2007. In appreciation of his global perspective and secular credentials, he was invited by H.H. Pope John Paul II to attend the Day of Prayer for Peace in the World held at Vatican, Italy during January 2002. The speech he made there was widely acclaimed by all the representatives world over, and the same was published by the Vatican Secretariat. In appreciation of his social work wedded to the Gandhian ideals, he was awarded the degree of Doctor of Laws in 1999. As a founder and chairman of various leading educational institutions in Pollachi and Coimbatore, he has always strived to making values an integral part of the curriculum. Above all, he is not only a preacher of Swami Vivekananda's teachings, but also a diligent practitioner of the same. It gives me immense pleasure in requesting Dr. Krishnaraj Vanavarayar sir to enthrall us with his scintillating speech.
My namaskarams to one and all. I wish to greet the organizers and all the participants a very happy, meaningful, interactive sessions in the next few days. And at the end of it, all of you should feel a lot more enlightened about the subject. And I got to thank at the outset my good friend Dr. Thangavelu, who have given me these opportunities. I should also thank Dr. Ishwaramurthy and Dr. Ashwin, who form part of the team. This is a great opportunity provided to all of you to know what's happening around the world as far as new innovations are concerned. We are living in a fast changing world. Nothing remains the same. Nothing remains relevant for too long. What was relevant yesterday is no more relevant today, and what is relevant today will not be relevant tomorrow. Therefore, every year the organizers organize this conference only to update you about what is happening around. This is the 18th such annual conference, and I'm happy that I have an opportunity to talk to you. Now, when Doctor approached me, I confessed to him that I am an outsider and I can't throw any light into the topic proper, for which Dr. Thangavelu said, we know that, but we don't want in the inaugural session somebody to speak about things about which for the next 2-3 days we are going to be listening. Therefore, for a change, why don't you come and say something connected with it, but from a different angle, that is knowledge. The main crux of this conference is to share knowledge. Knowledge of what? Knowledge of what is happening in the world of science and technology, which is what matters today. Knowledge matters, they say. Unless you update yourself with the knowledge, you run the risk of losing out. Therefore, there is a clamor to acquire the most modern knowledge. The whole world is indulged in that. Because without knowledge, there's no development. We need knowledge. That's why they say knowledge matters. Once we said that matter is power, then we said energy is power. Now we say knowledge is power. Without the most modern knowledge, no society can survive. Fair enough. There's no dispute about that. We need that most modern knowledge. But does knowledge itself ensure everything? Not really. Because we had this knowledge for the last 150 years. But at the end of the day, we see a lot of distortions also in the name of knowledge. And there are far too many challenges we have to encounter today. That is why the rishis of this great country said, mere knowledge is not enough, you got to balance it with wisdom. Getting the knowledge is one thing, applying it for something constructive is something else. And if a society indiscriminately uses knowledge for the sake of knowledge for development alone, at the end of the day, they may run the risk of destruction. And that is what we see today. All the challenges that humanity faces today is because of indiscriminate use of knowledge. But you have all come here to acquire knowledge because, as I told you, without updating yourself with the most modern knowledge, there is no question of survival even. But equally so, you need to know what to do with that knowledge, how to apply it for something constructive. That's where comes wisdom. In other words, friends, the question is just this. You have come here to acquire knowledge to update yourself and succeed in career or in life as well. Because as I told you, mere knowledge is not enough. You should know how to use it for something constructive. In other words, it is self or service. Please mark this. Knowledge for the sake of self or for the sake of self and service. Medical practitioners, obviously it's a career for them. They have to make a living out of it. Nobody can dispute that. But beyond that, is there going to be an element of compassion, and they're going to use that knowledge to serve the community for the betterment of one and all. If that element is also included, then it will be wonderful. In fact, my my request to the organizers, in all these conferences, you got to give the participants that orientation as well. Because India is known for wisdom. In fact, Swami Vivekananda, I'll be referring to him often. Vivekananda said wisdom made her home here in India before she went out to other parts of the world. Unfortunately, that wisdom is totally lacking in our society today. As a result, indiscriminate use of knowledge for the sake of knowledge and personal advancement at the cost of even destroying nature. So time has now come when we take a break, turn around and see what is happening. We have come a long way. In the last 150 years, life has changed totally. Our outlook towards life, our understanding towards life, and our approach towards life have all changed totally. At the end of it, I want to ask you all one question. Have we, the humanity, gained more or lost more? Yes, we are leading a lot more comfortable life. For example, I am speaking to you in the virtual mode, and you're all listening to me. Thanks to this COVID, there's no other way. This is not there once. Imagine when Swami Vivekananda spoke at Chicago, if this technology was available, imagine the whole of humanity would have heard it. But sadly, those days, all that was not there. So we need science, we need technology. No grouse. Without science and technology, we cannot progress. In fact, Swami Vivekananda was the first man from the religious order to welcome science. And he said, we need to synthesize science and spirituality. Both are essential. But one at the cost of the other is dangerous. So we need to synthesize both. As I told you, acquiring knowledge for one's own advancement is one thing. Acquiring knowledge for one's own advancement only with a view to enrich the society means different. So my request is that should be the approach. Otherwise, we run the risk of total destruction. Without wisdom, without the ability to discriminate between the real and the unreal, and without reasoning out things, blindly becoming victims of technology can be extremely dangerous. So in this case, what I want to tell you is, you who are coming from the medical fraternity are today the heroes in this COVID times. We salute you all for what you have done to us. If we are all safe today, it is because of the risk you have taken. You have risked not only your career but your life as well in saving millions and millions of people. This is something that has to be recorded here, and we salute you for that. We thank you for that. But this has to go on. This has to go on. Even after 73 years, all the medical facilities are available only in big cities, that too for well-to-do people. What about the poor masses in the villages? They have no access to all this. They can't enter into a corporate hospital and get treatment. It's impossible. So what is it we need to do now? There's no point in having a world-class medical facility in major cities and nothing in the villages. That's not fair. In a conference like this, we have to think about that as well. So we need to synthesize science and spirituality, which means there has to be an element of compassion. Yes, it is a career for you. We don't deny that. But when you do it with love and care, it makes all the difference. That's why, as far as India is concerned, the medical facilities to begin with was not this advanced, but it was available to all. Today, only a few who can afford can get access to this, where the many others cannot come anywhere near this. So that has to change, for which, as I told you, you need to introspect a little bit. This knowledge that we are getting in schools and colleges are only to survive in this material world facing competition. But we need another set of knowledge which comes from within, which gives you the compassion, the care, the love for your fellow being. But that is not told in the schools and colleges. So I have a feeling that in this era of knowledge explosion, there has to be something to provide you this wisdom. Organizations like Bharata Vidya Bhavan is just doing that. We tell our children in our schools and in our colleges the meaning of knowledge and how to use that knowledge for the betterment of everybody. For example, we tell our students, we have coined a slogan, empower the youth to enrich the nation. A very simple one line. All empowerment has to be there, it has to be welcomed. But at the same time, if empowerment stops with the individual and doesn't extend to the society, that empowerment makes no sense. So you all come here to get the most modern knowledge. But the advantage of this has to go to all. How to make it, I am no expert on that. How to make medical facilities available to all at affordable cost. I know, it doesn't sound very practical, but we got to find a way out. How can you expect millions of our people to come anywhere near your hospitals? So we got to do something about it. I'm told some experts are thinking on these lines how to maybe there can be another system which is not this much advanced but can cater to the needs of the ordinary man in the village. So such things has to be thought of. And I hope and trust these leaders of medical facilities who have come here will sit around and think what can be done. Because we are not America, Japan or Germany. Even today, after 73 years of freedom, there is still so much of poverty, ignorance and illiteracy. So unless a system caters to the majority, it makes no sense. So I want you all to consider that as well. In other words, friends, we have to develop a philosophical outlook towards life. That is the sum and substance. For example, when you think of a model for people in the health field, you talk of B.C. Roy. Engineers talk about Visvesvaraya. Lawyers talk about Ambedkar. And scientists talk about Abdul Kalam. What is so different about these people? They also were excellent in their knowledge. But equally so, they had so much of care and love. So we need to develop such models. It's high time after 70. Our youngsters are brilliant. I have no grouse with them. But we need to give that orientation, a sense of caring. Because Swami Vivekananda has given 5 lines to talk about the supremacy of a human being. He says, man is the crowning glory of all creations. There is nothing beyond that. And he can be what he wants to be, for which all power is already there in him. All he needs to do is to develop faith in himself and make the right choice in life. This is what I mean by wisdom. Unless you have the wisdom, in spite of all the knowledge you are blessed with, you may not be putting it to right use. We cannot give excuses, friends. We have to find a way out. We have to find a way out. Take this COVID times. When you watch in the television the pitiable conditions of the ordinary man in the street, it really breaks our hearts. How can India after 73 years be like this? Where we have gone wrong? What we need to do? What is the guarantee that some other virus won't come in future? Nobody can say for certain it will all be over by the second wave. We are also saying that a third wave could come. So what happens to life and civilization? So we depend squarely on doctors. While we are happy you are going to acquire the most modern knowledge, please develop the wisdom to put that knowledge to something constructive so that the well-being of all will be taken into account. Develop a philosophical outlook. Care for others. This rare human birth has to be lived for a purpose. And what is that purpose? To care for others. Nothing else. If we are going to care for others, we are through. Or if we are going to care for ourselves, then there's no meaning. So unfortunately, our education system is such that it stops with information and knowledge, but doesn't get to the level of providing wisdom. in other words, application. That's why even after 73 years, we see so much of inequality in the society. So time has come, friends. My appeal to the leaders in this fraternity to sit around and do something, think about it and do something about it. Man has to undergo some kind of an internal adjustment, which means how to make this life meaningful. If at the end of the day, if you experience a sense of contentment and fulfillment, you have led a meaningful life. If we have made tons of money, tons of power, fame, wealth, everything, and there is no sense of fulfillment in our hearts, then take it from me, we have not done our job. So this is what I have to say, because this is a congregation of the best of the minds in the medical fraternity. And laparoscopy, I understand, is a near miracle. Without any pain or dislocation, you people are performing wonders. So I got to compliment all of you. And I'm happy that this time it is being hosted from Coimbatore. Had it been normal times, I understand Dr. Thangavelu had plans to organize this in a very big venue in Coimbatore, if it were to be a physical interaction. But due to this difficult times, it's all virtual. I am speaking, but I can't speak any of you. I don't know what is the impact it is making on you, but we have no choice. Anyway, let us hope and pray that this COVID goes away. If we have done any mistakes, let us make a pledge today not to repeat the mistake. As I told you, knowledge for the sake of knowledge, only with development as the end, and GDP is everything. Instead, let us look for a holistic development, which means this knowledge has to be used for a more meaningful and for a more compassionate reasons where all can be happy. With these words, I wish the conference all success, and I once again thank Dr. Thangavelu for giving me this opportunity to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Krishnaraj Vanarayar, for bombarding us and showering us with all the knowledges. And we pledge to take your mission of taking the services to the nook and corners of our country, sir.
Thank you. Let's go next briefly to our patron of the conference, the IAGES 2021, and the KMCS chairman, to introduce him and also bring him to give some felicitation as a guest of honor. We go to organizing chairman, LP Thangavelu. Over to you, sir.
Sir, you're muted, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Dr. Thangavelu. Please go
Yes.
ahead.
Good evening, friends. It's my great privilege to introduce Dr. Nalla G. Palnisamy, the chairman of KMCH, a popular corporate hospital in the region of Tamil Nadu, especially in Coimbatore. He was born in a very small village, Nallambatti, near Coimbatore, 80 years ago. He comes from a very humble background, from an agriculture family. In those days, becoming a doctor is very difficult. He studied in Stanley Medical College, completed MBBS and MD. Subsequently, he was in government service for some time. Then he went to US and he established his practice, medical practice there as a consultant physician. None of his friends or nobody settled in US in those days very well. Would not either would like to become a citizen of America and stay there and make plenty of money. But this gentleman, he wanted to come back and set up a hospital, especially at Coimbatore. Along with his friends, he established Kovai Medical Center and Hospital, that is KMCH, a 1,000-bedded hospital, a corporate hospital, first of its kind in this part of the country. Apart from his hospital, he has established several educational institutions, including a medical college, which is very popular in this region. During the first episode of COVID, he said, if we are not establishing COVID centers, who else will organize all those COVID centers? Then he established not only one center, he established 3 centers, COVID centers at Coimbatore. And then subsequently established one more center at Erode. He was about to start 2-3 centers more in the neighboring areas. He was visiting every day to all these centers, taking high risk. I warned him, because I consider him as my elder brother. So I warned him, Anna, at your age, you should not go to all these places frequently. Please be careful. Even his friends, colleagues, all those people warned him. He ignored all those things and told us that if we are not doing this service to our people at the time of crisis, who else will come and do the service? Unfortunately, some 7-8 months ago, he was affected by COVID and got admitted into KMCH hospital itself. At the age of 80 years, he was in the intensive care unit for more than 2 months. He was on ventilator. At that age, nowhere in the world people will put the patient on ECMO, but he was put on ECMO also. He was on ECMO for 23 days. Because of his mental strength and courage and the dedicated doctors team at KMCH and the paramedical staff at KMCH, he survived and he has come back after nearly 8 months. Now he is absolutely fine. He is our chief patron of our Congress, and I'm very, very happy to inform you this is his first appearance after this illness. It is a second birth to him. So I welcome Anna, Dr. Nalla G. Palnisamy to our conference and request him to deliver an address. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are gathering here in Coimbatore for IAGES 2021. I welcome you all. I am really happy that the IAGES chosen the Coimbatore venue under the leadership of Dr. Thangavelu, and we have a great plan to have a actual meeting, conference at Coimbatore. But because of this coronavirus, we have a problem. We are going to have a virtual meeting of IAGES. I am really happy that Dr. Thangavelu is a great leader in medical field in India, and everybody liked him. And we in Coimbatore, we feel that he is a champion for the medical healthcare scenario in India. You all know Coimbatore is one of the leading place for minimally invasive surgery in gastroenterology. We maintain that for the last 2 decades without any difficulties. And we are the leader in Coimbatore. I congratulate IAGES for selecting Coimbatore and conducting that event in Coimbatore, even though we are not able to do it in person, we are able to do it well in virtual. Many national and international faculty has joined in this great event, and they are participating with enthusiasm, and we are all going to have a great exchange of knowledges in minimally invasive surgery, and we are all going to have a great event in Coimbatore. I am really happy that the IAGES is arranging so many training programs, including fellowship programs, and many of them are very much appreciate and they are benefited out of these programs. And I am happy that Dr. Tangvelu and group and IAGES are playing a major role in propagating the invasive program, minimally invasive program in India, and I am really happy that, and I am congratulate you all for doing this great job of minimal invasive surgery in India. And I welcome to Coimbatore, and I welcome on behalf of KMCH, and you all can enjoy this great event. And I am very happy that you are all here in the virtual program, and you will have a great benefit out of it. I wish you all the best for you and your family for participating in this great event. Wish you all the best. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. President, esteemed EC members, ladies and gentlemen, let us go on to the next phase of our program today, conferring honorary fellowships. Here we have our Chief Trustee, Dr. Venkatesh, to introduce one of the mounting personality from Montreal, who has graduated from McGill. To read his citation and resume, let us go to Dr. Venkatesh, a person who conducted so many scores of programs during those time when people go to Uti and Kunnu to learn laparoscopy, and he only put me in the right trajectory to where I am now is because of him guiding and motivating youngsters like us. Over to you, Venki.
Thank you, Dr. Vishwamurthy, for the introduction. Dear President, esteemed EC members, guests from the Collaborating Association, faculty, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor to introduce Professor Michel to this August gathering. Professor Michel obtained his MD in 1982 and did his surgical training at McGill's from 82 to 1988. Upon completion of his fellowship in hepatobiliary surgery in France, in Paris, he was recruited to the University of Montreal and worked at the Cleveland Clinic also, where he co-founded the minimal access surgery in 1995 and 1998. He was appointed professor of surgery and director of minimal access surgery at Mount Sinai, New York in 1998 and 2003. He then joined Cornell University as the professor of surgery and the chief bariatric and laparoscopic surgeon in 2003 to 2007. He was until recently the attendant at the hospital in Montreal. Dr. Michel is known for his immense contribution to minimal access surgery, in particular the first description of laparoscopy first description of laparoscopic pancreatectomy neck surgery with paratodectomy in 1995. After a transgastric cholecystectomy in 1997, that's notes. First description of laparoscopic duodenal switch in 1999 and laparoscopic sleeve gastrectomy in 2000. He has over 400 publications, articles, 50 books written, and 10 books in minimal access surgery. He has been visiting professor and operated in 60 institutions in 48 countries. I think everybody knows him in our country. He has held positions in more than 35 societies and has served on the editorial board of 12 surgical journals. Professor Michel, the president of IFSO in 2014, that's the International Federation of Surgery of Obesity and Metabolic Disorders. Professor Michel has been receiving honorary memberships and awards in most of the associations, and also focus on innovative GI surgery such as bariatric and endoluminal procedures. Mr. President, members of the Executive Committee of the IAGES, guests, faculty and delegates of IAGES 2021, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor and privilege to present to you before you Professor Michel Gagner, conferring him with honorary membership of IAGES in appreciation of his immense contribution in the field of minimal access surgery and for his active participation in our academic activities on this day, 7th May 2021. President, Mr. President, I welcome Mr. Gagner.
Yeah. Let's go to Montreal to Michel Gagner.
I understand that President Dr. Ramel Goel and as well as Honorary Secretary Iswa Murthy have been involved in this organization. So I thank them I'm really thankful for this honor. I understand that we could not come in person because of the pandemic. We are ourselves in the third wave, and I understand also your country is touched very much by this wave. And my good word for the best recovery from this, as we are all linked in this global, epidemic. So for me, it's also a big honor to receive this from India, because I have been a good friend of India. I have visited India over several years, including your city of Coimbatore, where I was involved and received many invitations to participate in several conferences that involve gastrointestinal surgery as well as HPB surgery. I went to all the different corners of India, and I always enjoyed the hospitality and the people. So I thank you very much for this honor. It's touching my heart, and I hope in the near future we can get together, hopefully after this recovery. Thank you very much.
To see you demonstrating various procedures across the country for so many years. Now let us go to Professor Sarder Nayeem getting the honorary membership. To read the citation, let me invite Dr. John A.C. Tanakumar, Chief Advisor, a great surgeon and a teacher's teacher from Coimbatore. Over to you, John.
Dr. John, you're muted, sir.
Thank you. Dear Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, it's a real honor to introduce Professor Sarder A. Nayeem. Born in 1962 in Dhaka, Bangladesh, Professor Nayeem graduated in MBBS in the year 85 from Dhaka Medical College. He was awarded the prestigious Mount Busho Scholarship from the Japanese government and entered into the Faculty of Medicine of the University of Tokyo, where he trained for 6 years and obtained his PhD in surgery in 1993. Professor Dr. Nayeem performed the first lab coli in Bangladesh in December 1991. He dedicated himself to the development of safe laparoscopic surgery in Bangladesh. He is the founder and president of Bangladesh chapter of Association of Medical Doctors of Asia from 1989. Professor Dr. Nayeem is a member of numerous and founder member of numerous membership associations, some of which are ELSA, SLSB, APHS, and subsequently he was conferred the FACS from 1999, and he founded the ACS Bangladesh chapter as the founder treasurer. Not only he has had numerous associations with various societies all over the world, he has also been a co-author for 2 books. He has been in the editorial board of 2 leading journals in Bangladesh and author and co-authored 34 scientific publications of repute in national and international journals. Mr. President, it is my honor and privilege to present before you Professor Dr. Sarder Nayeem for conferring him with IAGES honorary membership in association of his immense contributions in the field of MAS and his participation in our past academic activities on this day, 7th of May 2021. Thank you.
Thank you, John, for doing the honors. I request Dr. Sarder Nayeem to give the acceptance speech. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, John, for the introduction. The honorable chief guest and the guest of honor and the founder of IAGES, Professor Themten Udadia, Dr. Raman Goel, the president of IAGES, the organizing president, LP Thangavelu, the secretary, Ishara Murthy, and Satyapriya Desharkar, the treasurer, the next president, the president-elect, Dr. Sunil Papad, and all the members of executive committee and the organizing committee, the members of IAGES, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening. This is indeed a great honor for me to receive the most prestigious honorary fellowship of IAGES, which is one of the leading and largest organizations of the endosurgeons in the world. IAGES was founded about 3 decades ago by Professor Udadia, the father of laparoscopic surgery in India and one of the pioneers in the world. It is really a proud privilege for me that I was personally acquainted with Professor Udadia, who was also a good friend of my mentor and supervisor, late Professor Yasu Idezuki of University of Tokyo. And he was also the pioneer laparoscopic surgeon of Japan and in the world. IAGES has contributed tremendously in the development of minimal access surgery in India and the neighboring countries, especially Bangladesh. IAGES has commendably brought the level of endosurgery of India at par with that of any developed country in the world. In recent years, IAGES has developed an official bilateral relationship with the neighboring countries' societies through some unique memorandum of understanding. As the president of the Society of Endolaparoscopic Surgeons of Bangladesh, I was the proud signatory of this MOU, and such relationship will benefit the young surgeons immensely in the advancement of their career. Today, I would like to share with all the members of ACLSB the honor and privilege IAGES is offering by conferring on me this prestigious honorary fellowship of IAGES. I honestly hope that our bilateral academic relationship will strengthen in the coming days for the mutual benefit of young surgeons of this part of the world. Finally, I earnestly hope that we can overcome this present terrible time of COVID pandemic and wish all of us can enter a new normal life with our academic and professional activities. Stay safe and stay well, all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Nayeem, for your inspirational speech. And we always admire yourself and all your members taking active part for academic participation and contribution. This is a long cherished dream of all of us, and we as a regional force is now going to the global stage to prove ourselves how academic might we have. Thank you once again for joining us. Please stay with us to enjoy the rest of the function. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's
Thank
go
you
into the Academic Initiatives Awards now. The award ceremony is our next phase.
But it didn't dissuade the IAGES Congress President Dr. Raman Goyal to take up these academic initiatives. To hear it from the man himself, let us go to Dr. Raman Goyal. We request him to enlighten the audience with these academic initiatives. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Prabha. In 2020, as the pandemic unfolded, IAGES launched a series of awards for academic achievers. One of the main reasons to start these awards was to encourage other member surgeons to actively participate in meaningful research, help improve surgical outcomes, and get due peer recognition. A firm believer of role model concept, I am certain that award winners of 2020-21 will lead by example. If award selection continues in a transparent and objective manner, IAGES awards will act as a catalyst for research excellence in our country. Friends, 3 sets of awards were initiated this year, which includes the Best PG Thesis Awards. The foundation of research approach is expected to be laid through research thesis during post-graduation. However, lack of due importance to this important aspects of post-graduation has led to a situation that most PG level research is not trusted anymore. What a waste of time and effort. Through this award, we hope to recognize quality researchers and their teachers or mentors. I am pleased to share with you that most entries that we received were amazing in quality. And if other medical colleges and PG teachers start giving equal emphasis and time, PG thesis will become driver of research, surgical research in our country. Selection process of this was done by members of academic council using a blinded voting and subsequent interviews of shortlisted candidates. The other category of award that we initiated this year was JMAS Original Articles Award. JMAS is the flagship journal of IAGES. Our journal also has the highest impact factor among surgical journals from India. There had been discussions about lack of quality Indian publications in our journal. I believe instead of lowering selection standards of articles, encouraging improvement will prove more helpful. I hope these awards will motivate more members to submit their original quality work to JMAS. The selection of these awards were done through editorial board of JMAS, maintaining transparency and fairness. And the last, but probably the most important award is the Best National Researchers Award. This national level award to identify and recognize best surgical researcher of the country is probably the only one of its kind. Neither the government or the regulatory bodies like ICMR gives due recognition to those who do back-breaking work and spend time and energy. I mean, we give awards to the film stars and to everybody else as national awards, but researchers hardly get due recognition. This award selection is based on quality and number of research publications within a calendar year. Best 5 publications selected by the researcher himself or herself are subsequently evaluated by the selection committee. I'm glad that we could identify and honor the best research talent in the country. Friends, to conclude, these awards, in conjunction with IAGES Research Academy, in my opinion, will define IAGES for years to come. I feel more than the winners, IAGES leadership is honored by conferring these awards. I wish to congratulate all awardees on behalf of IAGES. Thank you so much.
Thank you, President, for explaining the importance of the academic initiatives for the budding generations. I'm sure in future we need to publish, otherwise people will perish in this era of you have to prove everything by evidence-based approach for the science. Let's now go on to the winners for the year 2020 on this following category. To announce this, we have the presence of our academic chairman, academic council, Dr. Saindev Dasgupta, our past president from West Bengal, Kolkata. He is going to announce the JMAS Best Original Article Award, followed by IAGES Best Researchers Awards, and also the IAGES Best PG Thesis Award. Over to you, Sainda.
Thank you, Ishwar. May I share my screen, please?
Please go ahead, sir.
Can I share my screen?
Yes, sir, you can.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So first we sorry, excuse me. So we first come to the JMAS Best Original Article, the first Indian report. The authors were Bilal bin Asaf, Harsh Vardhan Puri, Sukhram Vishnu, Navdeep Singh Nanda, Mohan Venkatesh Pule, Arvind Kumar. Next was a prospective randomized controlled trial comparing conventional intuitive procedure card recommended port placement with the modified Indian Manipal technique. The authors were S.P. Sobasekhar, A.Y. Deshpande, K.R. Ashwin, R. Gangasani, and R. Kumar. Next was transfacial suture versus tack fixation of mesh in totally extraperitoneal repair of inguinal hernia, a prospective comparative study. The authors were Avanish Kumar, Ajay Kumar Pal, Anurag Chaudhary, Akshay Anand, Abhinav Arun Shankar, Harbinder Singh Pawar. So these were the awards, best papers that we shortlisted, and each will get an amount of rupees 1 lakh for their best work. Shall we go to the next one?
Please go ahead, sir.
Next, we come to the IAGES Best PG Thesis Awards. The first one was by Dr. Devendra Singh. It's a prospective randomized controlled study to compare antral resection versus antral preservation during laparoscopic sleeve gastrectomy for morbidly obese. Next was to study the effect of bariatric surgery on urinary incontinence in obese individuals. This was by Dr. Prasanna Ramana Aramogoswamy. Next was ergonomic analysis of muscle activity during laparoscopy and influenza training. This was by Dr. Washim Firoz Khan. And the last was role of indocyanine green dye in laparoscopic cholecystectomy by Dr. Asmita Sen. So, and the last one was a comparative study of short-term outcomes of laparoscopic and robotic pancreaticoduodenectomy by Dr. Satta Pramod Inaugural. So these were the best thesis, and again each one will get a prize money of rupees 1 lakh. And lastly, we come to the IAGES Best Researcher Award in 2020. Number one was Dr. Pankaj Garg. He is from Indus International Hospital, Mohali, Punjab. Next is none other than our Dr. Sandeep Agarwal from All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi. The next was Dr. Vaibhav Kumar Bhashre, also All India Institute of Medical Sciences, but from Jodhpur. The last one was Dr. P. Praveen Raj from GEM Hospital and Research Center, Coimbatore. So these were the 4 awards. We did not select 5 because this was one of the places where we thought the 4 awards, the 4 papers were the best, and we selected only 4 out of the 5. So 1 went missing. And I must congratulate the AIMS team, who has just today said that they will contribute 25,000 rupees from each of them for COVID times to IAGES COVID Fund. I congratulate Dr. Sandeep Agarwal and all of them from AIMS team. Thank you very much, Dr. Agarwal.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sayandev Dasgupta, for doing the honors. Dear friends, all of you noticed IAGES has contributed to 12 awards, each about 1 lakh corpus, along with a plaque appreciation of their hard work and dedication presenting innovative studies. It is only to encourage youngsters to do more. I am sure next year there will be more competitions for this, and we have found, thanks to Sayandev and all the team in the Academic Council of IAGES, we were able to have a structured way of identifying the best possible personalities. Now, to have a quick introduction and words of acceptance from our IAGES Best Researchers Award, we have right now, I think we have joined by Dr. Pankaj Garg. Please, Pankaj, would you like to join? Hi, how are you?
I am fine, thank you so much. And I would like to thank the IAGES and for providing and conferring this award. And I'm really humbled and honored by this award.
Appreciative of our hard work, encourage youngsters also. Let's go to Dr. Sandeep Agrawal, our co-opted member and also our editor of JMAS. Proud to see you here, Sandeep. How are you? Unmute yourself, please, Sandeep.
We're not.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Thank you.
No, Sandeep, we can't hear you.
I can hear you now.
No, sir, no, sir. That was Dr. Raman Goyal. Dr. Sandeep, your microphone. We'll just go to Dr. Vaibhav and come back to you, sir.
Yeah. Dr. Vaibhav Kumar. Hi, how are you?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Nice seeing you. Congratulations for.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for this prestigious award. I am grateful for the all organizing committee and members for choosing me for this award.
Thank you. Thank you. Join the rest of the conference and contribute towards the welfare of the humanity. Now, let us go to Dr. Praveen Raj Palnivelu, our EC member from South Zone. Praveen, welcome.
Thank you, sir. I think a wonderful conference. I think should appreciate the entire organizing team for the wonderful work. I would like to thank the entire executive committee under the leadership of Dr. Raman Goyal for bringing up such an initiative of encouraging research. And I think this will definitely go a long way in the way we look at research in the surgical community. I would like to thank the entire IAGES for this honor and privilege.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go back to Sandeep Agarwal.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Sandeep.
No, I guess his audio is having an issue.
Yeah. So we really appreciate, Sandeep, your gesture. Apart from you, all your colleagues contributing 25,000 each, 1 lakh for the COVID relief in IAGS, and our president and all the EC wholeheartedly appreciate your gesture. We'll use it as a platform to do good to the people in and around Delhi and also various parts of our country. Thank you for joining, and please join us tomorrow and day after for the conference too. Next, let us go on to the next phase of our things, a short book releasing ceremony on the textbook of Art and Science of Colonoscopy.
Books are the footprints permanently engraved by any human beings. Now it is the most awaited moment of book releasing ceremony. We request our Professor Dr. B.K. Krishnarao sir and Professor Udvadia sir for this memorable occasions of releasing the book on Art and Science of Colonoscopy, the world's first hybrid book on colonoscopy for the surgeons by the surgeon.
Before the release, I like to put it on record my heartfelt thanks to all the contributors for the expert comment to make this dream come true, because all of us know, ladies and gentlemen, the endoscopy is no longer optional. It is an essential training program one has to have as a surgeon, because the future is for a flexible endoscopic platform, all of us know. And 5 years ago, when this endoscopy board was initiated by Dr. Ramesh Agrawala with help from Professor Subhas Khanna, Sunil Puppet, and also Sayandev when he is the secretary, and my lieutenant treasurer Satyapriya D. Sarkar, and my colleagues like Siva and Govindraj, all of us put together all our ideas to make this as a reality, and that gives us a lot of practical tips. So at surgeon training surgeons, and we need a handbook. We wrote Art and Science of Endoscopy 3 years ago. Now we are coming with a book which I am sure is going to be a very important asset for our IAGS. And I'm just going to give a glimpse of this book before I go to our mentor, the Dronacharya of surgery, endoscopic surgery, Dr. BKR. Here is the book.
It's a pleasure to give this video introduction to the colonoscopy book brought out by Dr. Ishwaramurthy, Honorary Secretary of the IAGES. Dr. Ishwaramurthy had contributed to the teaching of endoscopy. His first book on upper GI endoscopy was a great success and appreciated by all who were venturing into upper GI endoscopy. Now he has come out with the book on colonoscopy. I have gone through it. It is A to Z in colonoscopy. I don't think there is anything further to be added to that book in the present context as of date. He is an excellent teacher, and he has innovated in the textbook the ability to go to videos where he comes and explains orally to the candidates of what is written in the book, as well as explanations which are not there in the textbook.
and the first copy will be accepted by Professor Udvadia sir, our founder president, and Dr. Raman Goyal, our IAGES Congress president.
Over to you, sir. Thank you, sir. This book will be sent for the courier problem. It will be reaching in the hands of our founder president, our motivational force. I'm sure he'll enjoy it. I am going to send an electronic copy to him today, and all of you can read a sample chapter when you go to the exhibition hall of this conference tomorrow in the exhibition hall next to the radiology quiz chapter. And thank you very much for doing the honor, sir, and your words of appreciation from BKR, then Professor Udvadia sir, and later by our president Raman Goyal. BKR sir. Unmute yourself, sir.
Ishwar Murthy, as I had mentioned in my foreword, this is an excellent book for all the surgeons entering into the field of colonoscopy. And it is my pleasure to release this book and hand the first copy to our founder president, Captain Udvadia, to our past president, Raman Goyal, current president, Dr. Sunil Papat. It is my pleasure to forward this book through the electronic media to these three great stalwarts in laparoscopic surgery. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Udvadia sir.
Sir, you're muted, sir. Sir, you're muted, please.
Flexible endoscopy started in India in the late 1990s, early 1980s. And quite a few surgeons started with it. And to my regret, many of us just gave it away to the gastroenterologist. And one exception was friend Krishna Rao. He stuck to it, and he has been the anchor to keep flexible endoscopy with the surgeon. And I give you great respect for that, Krishna, because you've been the one lone voice among surgeons where all of us quit, to my regret. You held on to it and carried it on for surgeons. There are few even now who continue it. Amit Maidev, a surgeon, entirely went into flexible endoscopy. Nande continues to do both surgery and flexible endoscopy. But Krishna Rao was the champion of surgical flexible endoscopy over the decades. Thank you, Chris.
Both.
And of course, Ishwar has been promoting and spreading it over the last several years as an immediate and an important part of surgical education and surgical functioning. Ishwar, congratulations to you and keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Dr. Raman Goyal, our Congress President, over to you for brief appreciation.
Yeah, Dr. Ishwar Murthy, I think great effort by you to simplify colonoscopy. I bought my first gastroscope in 1990, and I wish I had a mentor like you during those days to teach me colonoscopy. So I remained a upper GI endoscopy surgeon for last 3 decades. And colonoscopy is something that most surgeons, more and more surgeons are going to use. So I think this book is going to be a great asset for all the members, and we see increasing excitement among surgeons to learn flexible GI endoscopy. So I'm sure IAGES will show the way to so many of them. So thank you so much. I believe you had told me that you are going to provide a book to all the delegates.
Yes.
A complete book. So please, please continue with that commitment so that all the members and fellows who are joining today get to have a copy of the book. Thank you so much.
All the registered delegates fellowship candidates are going to get a complimentary copy of this book, thanks to the general contribution by the sponsors, and also they will get one copy of our newsletter, which we were not able to send because of the courier problem, and along with that the IAGES tie also will be sent. So there is a lot of goodies are going to come. So thanks to you, President, and thanks all of you. Now let me go to Professor Sunil Papat for a few words.
Good evening, everybody. Dr. Ishwamurthy, a great friend, a great teacher, and a very enthusiastic endoscopist I know for almost 2 decades now. He is a teacher par excellence and a very good GI endoscopist. When Ishwar asked me to have a look at one of the chapters of this book on colonoscopy and write a foreword for it, I was really pleased and surprised. I was amazed that with so much of activities going around where Ishwar is at the helm of the affairs, he could still find the time for writing a book. It's a great achievement for Ishwamurthy, and my biggest compliments to him and many congratulations. I know that this book will be very helpful to all the surgeons and endoscopists who are learning and who are doing GI endoscopy. I wish all the best to all the endoscopists who are going to read this book and learn art, science, and skills of GI endoscopy and particularly colonoscopy. All the best to them and many congratulations to Dr. Ishwamurthy again. Thank you.
Now we go on to the convocation ceremony. We go on to the convocation ceremony. Let us go to the convocation hall where we have the fellowship candidates who are eagerly waiting with their friends and families, watching them the proud occasion through their Facebook and YouTube live. Let us put hands together to welcome our vibrant leader, Dr. Sunil Papat, IAGES President, year 21-22, and I request him to read the fellowship oath for us.
Good evening, friends. Before I read the oath, today, the founding father of IAGES and father of laparoscopy in India, Dr. Udwadia sir, father of GI endoscopy in India, Dr. BKR sir, our chief guest and guest of honor, our Congress President, organizing chairman, organizing secretary, dignitaries on the dais and dignitaries of the dais. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this grand convocation of IAGES 2021. It is the first time in the history of IAGES we are having this virtual convocation. I am very pleased to note that more than 250 fellows have joined here live on this webinar platform. Friends, IAGES started its fellowship activities from 2007 onwards, and I'm very pleased to say nowadays we are having almost 4,000 fellows of IAGES. They may be FIAGES, EFIAGES, and FALS in various subspecialties. Today, we are going to honor fellows with their certificates for FIAGES, EFIAGES, and FALS in hernia, bariatrics, colorectal surgery, oncology, and upper GI surgery. Friends, for the oath taking, normally we have it in a large hall where the fellows have to repeat the oath sentences, what I read out. But here, it won't be possible for you to follow me. I would request all the fellows to raise their right hand in the air, presuming that all of us in the hall are watching you. And when I finish reading out of the oath, I would like you to say, I agree. Anand, we can have oath now. Oath for Fellowship of IAGES. I, Dr. So-and-so, solemnly take oath today that I will always uphold the dignity and sanctity of my profession as surgeon. As a fellow of IAGES, I will always use my knowledge and skills for the betterment of my patients. I will continuously upgrade myself in my surgical field and skills to give the best and latest to my patients. I will never do any unethical surgical procedure or treatment on my patients. I will always follow the dictum, do no harm. I am proud of my achievement as fellow of IAGES and will always do my best in my chosen field for the upliftment of my fellow countrymen. I will use my best efforts for the growth and advancement of minimal access surgery in my country for the benefits of patients and society at large. Amen. Thank you, dear fellows. I will now request our conveners to take over as guided by our Honorary Secretary, Dr. Ishwamurthy, to go ahead with award ceremony of the fellowships of IAGES. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Sunil Papat, for giving the oath. I'm sure all these people gathered in the various rooms in various categories, people in the last 1 year, in spite of the difficult time, we were able to conceptualize and come with a module wherein we had 30 different online lecture modules at your convenient time, followed by we were able to interact over the WhatsApp and also with the email, all the clarification doubts you had, and after that we were able to get you over the online for an interaction, viva, and also see how you are doing with the logbook. But for the hands-on experience on knotting and suturing or hands-on endoscopy simulation, all other things were achievable with this digital platform existing now. But still, nothing like having an hands-on. So this year, I'm sure Professor Sunil Papat is going to continue because the wave is going on, ravaging. So we are having ideas of bringing in an online lecture with the on-site training module. I'm sure that will be again successful, and I really congratulate all the 300 plus fellowship candidates, their family and the friends. It is a proud time, all of you. To do the honors for the FIAGES, I invite Dr. Meenakshi Sharma, our Vice President from the North Zone, the convener of FIAGES, to do the honors. Over to you, Dr. Meenakshi.
Madam, you are muted. Madam, you are muted.
Good evening, President Sir, esteemed EC trustees, and dear guests. I, Meenakshi Sharma, am pleased to announce that the following list of our IAGES members or the members of collaborating associations have been successful after taking the fellowship course, the course of FIAGES, and the FIAGES board is happy to confer them all the fellowship degree. Wish everyone a good luck, and here is the list of candidates. From the beginning, I would like to apologize for any mispronunciations of the names, I would like to start the list now. Abhijit Muste, Abhinav Kesarwani, Abhilash Malhotra, Ebam Zafar Sadiq, Adhish Kumar Vyas, Aditya Chawla, Aditya Satya Sivanaga, Ajay C, Ajendra Singh, Ajoy Sarkar, Akhilesh Kumar Yadav, Akshay Prasad, Amarjot Singh, Anna Pore, अनंत राजू, अंकित अग्रवाल, अनुकेश गहलोत, अरुण कुमार सेल्वा गणपति, असीम भारद्वाज, आशीष चौधरी, आशुतोष होटा, अविनाश के, अवनीत सेठिया, अजहर आलम, बंवारी लाल बैरवा, भरत कुमार सिंह परथीपन, चंद्रकांत सुखादेव सबले, चंद्रशेखर एस, चेमुरो मुनिशेखर रेड्डी, दर्पण ददीच, दीपक नायक पी, दीपन कार्तिक एस, दिलीप एन, दिनेश कुमार, फरहान इम्तियाज चौधरी, गोलन आजम, ग्रीष्मा एस, बुहान रामास्वामी जीवनंदम, हार्दिक ब्रह्मभट्ट, हेमंत एस गलीगे, जितेंद्र सिंह चौहान, जितेंद्र सिंह, कलियामले ई, कमलाकनन चोकालिंगम, कार्तिक के, कस्तूरी भारद्वाज, कृष्णेंदु वी, कुमार सोनल, लिंगेश सायराम सी, मदन, मोहम्मद शरीफुल इस्लाम, नियतो रालिंग, मोहम्मद अशरफ उद्दीन खान, मोहम्मद इरफान, मोहन कांत ठाकुर, मोहम्मद यूनुस सलार शाह, मोहित कुमार माथुर, मृत्युंजय कुमार राय, मोहम्मद शमीम सिराकात, नवदीप कुमार सिंगला, नवीन कुमार, निशांत लक्ष्मीकांता, नितेश नागा बालाजी पगदला, निवाश मरन, पद्मनाभन एसआर, पंडरानी नाथ मनोहर ओडी, पार्था सारथी नायक, अदला पवन कुमार होसामनी, पीयूष वर्षने, पीयूष कुमार अग्रवाल, प्रदीप जया कुमार एस, प्रशांत एटी, प्रतीश अग्रवाल, प्रवीण कुमार एम पाटिल, प्रियंका राय, प्रदीप कुमार मंडल, रवि नारायण गुरु, रचिता चोपड़ा, राहुल यादव, दच्चेपल्ली राजेंद्र कुमार, राज प्रकाश, रमीज रजा, राम कुमार, रविचंद्र वेलिगटी, रिजुता अफले, ऋषभ अग्रवाला, रितेश कुमार धनबार, रोहित डैंग, सागर Balaji Rao Kotalwar, Saktivel Chandrasekhar, Samuel Joseph Arthur, Sangram Keshari Panda, Sanjay Kumar Bhatt, Santosh Singh Rajput, Satvik Aladi, Bundawali Satti Babu, Satyanarayan V, Sheikh Ansar Ali, Senthil Kumar, Siraj Ahmed, Shambhunath Agarwal, Shobik Chakravarti, Shobit Sengar, Shruti Kamal V, Sivasankran B, Siva Subramaniam, Saumil Jitendra Vyas, Sudhanshu Goyal, Sujit Kumar, Syamantak Basu, T. Srinivasan, S. Uma Maheshwaram, Venkat Pavan Kumar K, Vaibhav Kumar Varshne, Varadharajan Vijay Kumar, Vijay Sarthi Dharmalingam, Vinay Prasad MH, Vinny Soni, Vinod Sharma, Zahid Akhtar Hafiz Ghulam Rabbani, Zubair Rashid, Ashish Goenka, Amit Kumar Singh, Amritpal Singh Bedi, Anshu Agarwal, Arjun C, Dheeraj Prem Chandani, S. Dinesh Kumar, Divam Gandhi, Gobinath M, Godavarti Ram Mohan, Harmandeep Singh, Koteshwara Rao Kamalapuram, Lokeshwari K, Malidu Shashidhar, Manoj Ayapat, Mohit Kumar Badgurjar, Muthulakshmi S, Nitish Dhawan, V. Pavan Kumar, Padmanabh Inamdar, Rajesh Kumar Srivastav, Rajendra Ratre, Rajneesh Kumar Chaturvedi, Rijul Saini, Rohit K. Fadnis, Sahil Rometra, Shahid Anjum, Shashi Kumar Chaurasia, Supriya Chilukoti, Sushanta Mehar, V. Venkata Ramabai, Vijay Shekhar R, Yogesh Yadav. Thank you very much and congratulations and welcome to the IAGES family.
Thank you, Dr. Meenakshi, for doing the honors. I really thank the FAGS board, ably taken over by yourself, along with Achal and Sumit Shah, and led by Dr. Venkatesh, I think as I said earlier, you were able to get all the modules on in the time and able to record all the lectures in the record time and able to get so many of the delegates onto the platform to their satisfaction, and more than 90% satisfactory score is really a nice one, and most of them they finished their logbook also. So thank you very much from our bottom of the heart, Dr. Meenakshi and team, and we always also congratulate all these fellowship holders. You have to realize you need to continue this practice of maintaining a logbook which has been now given to you, and also you need to realize that this learning process is a continuous process. Success is never a destination, it is a journey. Please continue your path to excel in the endoscopic and laparoscopic career. Let's move on now to bring Dr. Govindraj, our Vice President South Zone, convener of EFAGS, along with our Chairman Aswin Masurkar, Dr. Gani Bhaskar Rao, Satyapriya D. Sarkar, and the advisor, Professor BKR. Dr. Govindraj, please do the honor of conferring the fellowship in the endoscopic basics to all our fellows who have taken the course of EFAGS under IAGES. Over to you, Dr. Govindraj.
Thank you, Dr. Ishwaramurthy. I take extreme honor on behalf of the EFAGS board and on behalf of the IAGES to do this virtual convocation for the EFAGS members. Mr. President, the esteemed EC members, guests, and all the delegates, I, Dr. K. Govindraj, am very pleased to announce the following.
So there is net connectivity. Once Govindraj comes, I'll get connected. Let me just continue reading the names. Please get the EFAGS candidates. Let me read on Govindraj's behalf. Dr. Arnav Mandal, Vijay Sadi Dharmalingam, Dr. Saktivel Sandrasekhar, Dr. Segaryur Ahmed, Dr. Sunil Singh, Dr. Kastub Gupta, Dr. Gauranga Nayak, Dr. Himanyu Misra, Dr. Jayendra Sahu, Dr. Varun Desari, Dr. Abhinasha Mohabhadra, Dr. Dibakar Yadav, Dr. Vyasak, Dr. Rohit Srivastava, Dr. Naseem Ahmed Khan, Dr. Atul Kumar Gupta, Dr. Lal Chandrama, Dr. Vikas Jain, Dr. Harmandeep Singh, Dr. Divam Gandhi, Dr. Chandra Chennakrishna Reddy, Dr. Ritesh Prakash Dunbar, Dr. Arun George John, Dr. Prasanna Kumar Bihur, Dr. Nagendra Singh Baturia, Dr. Syed Mahmood Ayas, Dr. Aklaq Hussain, Dr. Avinash, Dr. Bikanti Rajendra, Dr. Sahil Sharma, Dr. Panchanna Panikarwa, Dr. Rohan Gaikwad, Dr. Dipakar Sankar Mitra, Dr. Payam Chaudhary, Dr. Nitish Naga Balaji Pahalada, Dr. Chandran GB, Dr. Amrit Pal Singh Bedi, Dr. Rohit Sahu, Dr. Shariful Islam, Dr. Rajiv Bagrok Jadhav,
Dr. Abhishek Bhatia, Dr. Jaykrishna Reddy Aluru, Dr. Zahid Akkar Hafiz Ghulam Rabbani, Dr. Daksh Shetty, Dr. Ramiz Raja, Dr. Vijay Prakash Agarwal, Dr. Prasanna Kumar Palenki, Dr. Uday Kiran, Dr. Samuel Joseph Arthur, Dr. Shavan Kumar Mishra, Dr. Karthik K, Dr. Manish Shahu, Dr. Mohit Kumar Mathur, Dr. Narendra Vijay Lokare, Dr. Nitin Kumar Mulchandba Parmar, Dr. Rakesh Ashwin Kumar Makwana, Dr. Sudarshan Shetty, Dr. Piyush Kumar Agarwal, Dr. Golam Azam, Dr. Ajay Kumar Sharkar, Dr. Ranjish Meena, Dr. Abhyam Safar Zadik, Dr. Raj Kapoor, Dr. Kedar Singh Shahi, Dr. Sahendil Prabhu Murugeshan, Dr. Ajay Raja, Dr. Shunit Shat, Dr. Rajesh Kumar Srivastava, Dr. Anil Kumar KN, Dr. Supriya Chulkoti, Dr. Abhinav Kesharwani, Dr. Azim Bharadwaj, Dr. Aditya Chawla, Dr. Amit Kumar Singh, Dr. J.S. Rajkumar.
Thank you. And congratulations to all the people who obtained the basic qualification doing the diagnostic endoscopy and basic therapeutic endoscopy. I am sure you had, in addition to the theoretical part, a lot of virtual live demonstration videos were there in the modules. But in spite of that, nothing like having a hands-on experience. I am sure the time will come where you will come to all the centers like Dr. Goendraj, Dr. Satyapriya, Dr. Sunil Papat, Dr. Subhas Khanna, Dr. Sunil Kumar, Dr. Sadish Mida, all the stalwarts in the IAGES forum who teach the endoscopy day in and day out. We are going to have a zonal level hands-on training when we are going to conduct the EFAGES close to your city. So once the COVID is down, we are there with you, and this is a long-term association with us. I'm sure from the EFAGES, we wish you all continue this path of endoscopy to do the FAGI, which is an advanced endoscopy course. Congratulations to you, and also I'm sure you have a good time with your family. Let's go on to meet Dr. Deep Goyal, our dynamic personality EC member from North Zone, joining on behalf of the Falls Board, led by Arun Prasad, Randip Vadaman, and Manish Baijal. He'll do the honor of announcing the Fellowship of Colorectal Falls. To you, over to you, Deep.
Good evening, everybody.
Yeah.
It is my honor and privilege. It is my honor and privilege to be part of first digital historical convocation ceremony. I will be announcing the name of the successful candidates of Falls Colorectal. Mr. President, esteemed Executive Committee and guests, I, Dr. Deep Goyal, am pleased to announce the following list of our IAGES members of Collaborating Association who have been successful after taking the fellowship course of colorectal diseases. Falls Board is happy to confer them all the fellowship degree. We wish them all the good luck, and here is the list of the successful candidates. Vaibhav Vashne, Shahriyar Ahmed, Susanta Meher, Prashant Usurumarthi, Sudhir Dhaigudu, Ashutosh, Bhagavat Purushottam Dhanpat, Sunil Meena, Utsav Gaur, Varun Dasari, Amrish Pataudi, Sujoy BR, Amarjot Singh, Atul Kumar Patel, Narendra Sanghvi, Dr. Sivakumar Madhu, Seshu Kumar Bailapudi, Sujit Philip, Dr. Dheeraj Premchandani, Satya Prakash Meena, Dharmendra Kumar People, George Sebastian, Avinash A, Mohammad Ariful Islam, Shashikaran MS, Ashish Gautam, Narendra Lohkare, Dr. Sandeep Patil, Dr. Tanvirul Huda, Rajkumar Sankaran. Thank you very much. On behalf of IAGES, we wish them all very good luck. Thank you very much. Over to you, Ishwara.
Really admire your contributions in IAGES, both in the COVID and also in the academic front and also the academic council. And we send the greetings to all these false group, because colorectal is the first false online program we conducted. Having seen the enthusiasm by the candidates, we continue to write the modules for the rest of them, and this follows the false upper GI with the same board members, with the Kanagavel as an active part. He is going to come here. As you all know, he is the editor for the JMAS, editor of our newsletter, and also the IAGES Prime Time. Kanagavel, please do the honor of reading the people who qualify to get the false upper GI on this online program year 20 and 21.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, friends. Mr. President, esteemed executive committee members, and my dear guests. I, Dr. M. Kanagavel, and the team of my colleagues are pleased to announce that the following list of our IAGES members of collaborating associations, have been successful after taking the fellowship course. And then here the fellowship course is on the fellowship in advanced laparoscopic surgery in the stream of upper GI, and the board of FALS is happy to confer them all the fellowship degree. We wish them all good luck. May I have the honor of reading out the list of successful fellowship candidates for the year 2020. Can we have the slides, please? Dr. Narendra Vijay Lohakare, he is from Manchar. Next, please. Dr. Ashish Gautam from Ghaziabad. Next, please. Dr. J.S. Rajkumar from Chennai. Next, please. Dr. Madhusudanan Devanathan from Chennai. Next, please. Dr. Gairik Maji. Next, please. Dr. Kishan Boy. Next, please. Dr. Shivakumar Madhu. Next, please. Dr. George Matthew Sebastian from Kottayam. Next, please. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Dr. Ishwar Murthy, for bestowing me this honor of introducing the fellowship delegates. Over to you, back to Dr. Ishwar Murthy, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Kanagavel, for doing the honor. As you say, the upper GI, we had 12 false candidates, and out of them, 6 qualified in the initial attempts. Thanks to our president, year 2021-22, Professor Sunil Papat and Kanagavel, who conducted the assessment, and following the things, we advised them to retake the examination after a couple of months, and they did it wonderfully well now. And but for one people, rest of them are qualified. So we have to keep the quality ensured in order to give this well-coveted program, well known across the globe, the FALS program. Thank you, Kanagavel, for all the inputs you have done along with our FALS board. Let's go into the next thing, FALS hernia. Dr. Manish Baijal, because of his COVID and other duties in Delhi, could join. Let me ask our MC to read all these people who are going to get the fellowship in false hernia. Over to you, Rama.
Dr. Ahmad Sharnayar Isbar, Dr. Ahmad Sharnayar Isbar, Dr. Vikashi CN, Dr. Jayakrishna Reddy Aluru, Dr. Dubai Ravi, Dr. Vinod Prabhu, Dr. Benkati Rajendra, Dr. Shaktivel Chandrasekhar, Dr. Nirmal Kumar, Dr. Shivani Sood, Dr. J.S. Rajkumar, Dr. Venkatesh Gopal, Dr. Ranji Matthew, Dr. Tony Matthew, Dr. Sushanta Meher, Dr. George Matthew Sebastian, Dr. P. Praveen Sundar, Dr. Anil Kumar KN, Dr. Anuraj A, Dr. Hemant Gangli, Dr. Lokesh MN, Dr. Sendil Kumar M,
In the false hernia. Now let's go on to false bariatrics. Yeah. To do the honors, we have Dr. Randeep Wadhawan, our energetic, academically inclined EC member from the North Zone, who from the beginning helped us to come successfully with this 5 challenging, because when we started the year, we thought we should be able to get all the 5 online falls programs completed. I'm sure we had our challenges, but with a collective responsibility from the input from all the experts, they volunteered the time and efforts out of the odd hours beyond their clinical commitment. They came out with a wonderful module, and we had a very, very exciting falls bariatric program successfully completed by these candidates. To do the honors, let's go to Dr. Randeep Wadhawan, Delhi. Over to you, Randeep.
Thank you, Dr. Ishwar. Good evening to all. Dear Mr. President, esteemed DC members, guests, and all the delegates, I, Dr. Randeep Wadhawan, is pleased to announce that the following list of our IAGES members have been successful after taking the fellowship course in the field of bariatric and metabolic surgery. The FALS board is happy to confer them for the fellowship degree. We wish them best wishes and good luck. Following is the list of the successful candidates. Dr. Rajkumar Sankaran, Dr. Arun Kumar Selva Ganpati. Next, Dr. George Sebastian, Dr. Rajiv Rahi, Dr. Karthik, so we had only 5 candidates in the field of bariatric surgery who could take the exam. Probably we'll have more the next time. Congratulations once again to all the successful candidates, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Randeep. As to remind all the fellowship candidates, we had to maintain a certain standard, so we ensured the candidates or the fellowship candidates have to complete at least 90% of the modules. Then only they are allowed to take the Viva. So keeping that as a criteria, out of the 15, I think 10 only qualified to take the exam. Out of them, 5 successfully completed. And today, for being, as you can see, the commitments elsewhere, only I think couple of them are registered for the convocation today, but rest of them, they'll be conferred in the subsequent next year program. Anyhow, the names have been announced by Randeep. Thank you very much. Let's go finally. Last but not the least, this is the program we did with a lot of work and commitment and time from the oncosurgeon, Dr. Anil Herur. I think single-handedly, along with him and Randeep, day and night, they designed this program and came out with a program which is very useful, interactive, clinically oriented, and liked by many people with a good feedback. And also, he came out with all the examiners to have an international standard, so he was able to choose the candidates who are eligible to get this coveted falls oncology for the very first time in the history of IAGES. Proud of you, Anil, and over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. It wouldn't have been possible without the active support of President Raman Goel and yourself. and all the EC members to have achieved this program. Mr. President, esteemed EC, guests and delegates, I, Dr. Anil Herur, am pleased to announce that following list of our IAGES members of our collaborating associations have been successful after taking the fellowship course of FALS Oncology in the FALS board exam. The FALS board is happy to confer all of them this fellowship degree. We wish them all good luck, and now I would like to announce the list of the successful candidates. Can we have Dr. Chinni Vikram Ashokan? Next slide. Dr. Hirak Pahadi, Dr. V. Pawan Kumar, Dr. Adala Pawan Kumar, Dr. Ravi Shankar Prakash, Dr. Sangram Keshari, Dr. Vardarajan Vijay Kumar, Dr. Vikas Jain, Dr. Aaron John, Dr. Akshat Agarwal, Dr. Akshay Prasad, Dr. Amit Bansal, Dr. Anant Prakash Pore, Dr. Anil Kant Mittal, Dr. Arun Bharadwaj, Dr. Baswaraj Kadage, Dr. Chakravaram Sashikant, Dr. Chetan Shenoy, Dr. Damani Suresh, Dr. Devendra Karthik, Dr. Divakar, Dr. Dorian Haniel Terence, Dr. Hemant Kumar Garg, Dr. Jatin Punia, Dr. Jeevan Vishnoi, Dr. Jean Jyoti, Dr. Karan Vats, Dr. Mahendra Singh, Dr. Muhammad Abdur Rahman, Dr. Naseem Ahmed Khan, Dr. Pawan Ballur, Dr. Prabhu, Dr. Perumala Karthik Babu, Dr. Pramil, Dr. Preetej Makwan, Dr. Prithvi Raj, Dr. Popola Venkatasagar, Dr. Rahul Chaudhary, Dr. Rahul Gupta, Dr. Ram Appasaheb Magar, Dr. Ram Nivas Samota, Dr. Satinder Singh Sandhu, Dr. Sheikh Sajid Ahmed, Dr. Shridevi MB, Dr. Sujit Kumar, Dr. Suyash Srivastava, Dr. Shri Ram Gandham, Dr. Sushil Yadav, Dr. Usha H, Dr. Vaibhav Gupta, Dr. Vyas Adhish Kumar Vinod Bhai, Dr. Vinod Kumar Singhal, Dr. Yogendra Singh Vadhwa, Dr. Manish Devangan, Dr. Kapil Sindhu, Dr. Jayesh Kalwande, thank you, Secretary Sir, and over back to you.
Thank you, Anil, for doing the honor. As you can see, because of the interest you took, so many people, even first time, they took this examination. They came colorful. I think but for one who was not able to attend the Viva, all of them cleared. I came to know now that there are a couple of people, actually they were conferred more than 1 degree. Their name would have appeared in one fellowship reading, but the full list is available. I just want to emphasize all those people who have taken more than 1 degree, all the list will appear. When you go tomorrow to the conference, enter the exhibition hall where they will be seeing the lobby and archive. In the archive, we put the PDF of all those people under the category, irrespective of whether you registered for this conference or not. All the names will be appearing in the respective things. Your names will be there, and we will be cross-examining, checking with our Medinet, because as you can see with the net connectivity, there is a little misinformation. There are one or two people who may think their names are missed out, but rest assured, all you are conferred. I can just read Dr. Durayan Hanivel, Dr. Piyush Kumar Sinka, FAGS, Dr. Farag Dumain, Dr. Chatan Shenoy, Dr. Shravan Mishra, Dr. Rohit, Dr. Dorian, Dr. Piyush Kumar Sinka, Dr. Rajendra Rattray, and Dr. Ashish Goyenga, both registered for EFAGS, Jahid Akhtar Rabani, Dr. Ahmed Sahariar Ishar, Atul Patel, and Ashno Agarwal, Arun Bharadraj, Vinod Singhal. All of you, and in addition, those one or two missed out, don't get worried. Sorry if there is any lack. It may be the typo error, but still, all your names, I ensure they are all present tomorrow on the conference archive site, and by Monday onwards in our IAGES website. If you still have a problem, you know where to approach me. You can either put it in the WhatsApp group. We have 3 WhatsApp groups, the FAGS, EFAGS and FALS, or you can contact me directly. So congratulations all. Thank you for all our conveners and also the chairman for doing the honor of making this a successful, memorable convocation. Now let us go on to the final thing, the word of thanks. Very important for the occasion, and we have our trusted, the Bengal Tiger, Mr. Colonoscopy, my dear friend Dr. Satyapriya, to do the honor of doing the word of thanks for the whole galaxy of our guests and also the delegates and all the people who worked in day and night for successful of this program. Over to you, Satya.
Good evening. As every magical moment has some time has to come to an end, so this magical inauguration ceremony is coming to an end. The work of the vote of thanks is like having a penalty, because if you miss one name, then it casts you. So first, I must apologize to any name if I miss, because everyone is our team member and names are not important. Only what is important is the warmth we send to all our family members. We start from none other than our founder president, Dr. Udvadia. Sir, you have started the great journey. We are just following you. Coming to our father of endoscopy, my passionate place, Professor B.K. Rao. Sir, you have guided us and you have made us really so that we can have some of people who are also guided by us. Now when, after a glorious victory, we are starting our new team, so many plans to go to all around India like before. Now suddenly COVID came and dead bodies used to get piled up in the morgues, and even for cremation, people has to wait not for clocks. As the president says, see the calendar, days going on. At that time, a man, a great leader, gave a clarion call, who is accidentally or incidentally a bariatric surgeon, our president, Dr. Raman Goyal. He encouraged us, even in the most trying time, you can give your best. We started contributing to the society, as our chief guest says. We started from the oldest medical college of India, the Calcutta Medical College of Kolkata, and then we spread everywhere to all corners of India through our network, through our members, ECs, and other members. Really, sir, I'm touched by the leadership you have shown at the most crucial way. The impossible thing we made possible. My friend, my guide, Dr. Ishwar Murthy, have just made an impossible work, I must say, throughout the time. Whatever thing is going on, every time with a smiling face and a beautiful voice, Ishwar Murthy is there. What next to do? Whom to contact? Where to give the money? And we started. So no words to give any thanks. These are the experiences, delegates, you must follow in your life. Coming to next, the other one, our Chief Trustee, Dr. Venkatesh, Dr. John Thanakumar, our Chief Advisor, our other May Presidents, Dr. M.G. Bhatt, Dr. Jamir Pasha, Dr. Subhash Khanna, my Guru, Dr. Ramesh Agarwala, immediate past President, Dr. Shayandev Das Gupta from my city, Kolkata. Everybody was by our side and encouraging us day and night. The others who really fought with us, everyone, today also took a great part. Meenakshi Sharma, my sister, Dr. Deep Goyal, Dr. Kanak Bhel, Dr. Randeep Wadawan, Dr. Manish Baijal, Anil Harud, Dr. Ashwin Thangavelu, the youngest one, the Sarfaraj Beg, Dr. Pavan Lal, who has really made a unique Indo-UK conference, which is going to be a memorable and a hallmark, those who have attended that. A great thanks as on behalf of our team, which is coming to an end. Thanks and thanks a lot. Then coming Dr. L.P. Thangavalu, in this trying time, till last moment, he has the courage to persuade a physical meeting, which is not ultimately possible, but I felt the warmth has touched everybody, though we are physically distant, but we are very close to each other. Dr. Thangavalu, you have shown your lion's heart, and you have shown us, I'm very sure, that after the present great president, Dr. Sunil Popat, you will show you will be a common man's president, sir. Dr. Sunil Popat, the president-elect, was always with us. He is an immaculate planner and a fantastic man. And I'm really happy to work with him. And in this second wave of trying time, sir, we'll definitely do and work under you. Coming to the other ones, I think all the vice presidents, Dr. Shiar Das from my place, Dr. Govindraj, my dear friend, the endoscopy V, Govindraj, Vijay, Dr. Gani, who has made always tremendously helped us with his magnificent hospitality and a model hospital. I think whole world can be proud of him. These persons and Samir is also a fantastic boy, always with us. There are so many names. Every EC member contributed in their own way. Like in Facebook, the Sarfaraj has contributed, our Sumit has contributed, and our JMAS. Anil is a great international reputed, is one of the greatest leaders, smartest man I've seen in my life. He has made our journal from a 21 lakh deficit to a 5 lakh now profit, and keeping a fantastic level of the journal. JMAS, we are really proud of you. All who are coming to our family will understand what tremendous work our predecessors and my contemporary geniuses have done. So coming to the end, I must congratulate again our president for making more with ACLSB Bangladesh, represented by Dr. S. Nayeem, Dr. Professor Shamiran Mandal representing them. Sir, you have really made us cross the border, and future people will really go there and will make use of the platform. Thank you, sir. We must thank Pakistan Surgical Association represented by Professor Farooq Afzal, Maldives Surgical Association, Association of Laparoscopic Surgery, Great Britain and Ireland, which has been in process for a few years, but our president, the pandemic president, has made it into a reality. I thank Dr. Don Menzies for attending us and encouraging. Sir, there are a lot to be done. We are a great country. The whole SARC is with you and we will do a lot. At the end, we always say that to make anything, we must be viable economically, and we must have to make all these arrangements, these magical arrangements. I request BARDS, Striker, Medtronic, and CMR, those who have immensely helped us in all these things. I also thank Anand Sai, event manager, Onuj, platform designer, and I already have mentioned those who have named our halls over their companies, BARD, Striker, Medtronic, and CMR. So many words to say, but I have to stop again. But my warmth will be there till my last breath. It's a great privilege and great honor for me. I have given a decade of service to IAGES. IAGES giving me back. Thanks a lot to everybody, and back to our Master of Ceremony. Thank you, and everybody.
Thank you, Satya, for your appreciative words. All these encouraging words, I think it is going to be tonic, and people go the extra mile. As you can see here, you said team Anand and Sai, they are not one personality. They are, as of now, where I am standing in the studio, there are at least 30 people behind the screen. They are working in 3 different rooms to make a seamless transmission, as if you are sitting in the immersive feeling you are able to get, thanks to the technology, thanks to the commitment, thanks to the coordination. And once again, we put it on record, the excellent execution. I think this is what you are going to get tomorrow and day after. I think the next 20 minutes, as a token gesture from the organizing team led by our president and the organizing chairman, we are going to have 20 minutes of a classical what the South Indians could offer to relax, rejuvenate, so that we can regroup and learn tomorrow and day after with academics. So Sivanjali group is going to be with us if you have 20 minutes, because I was anticipating we'll be finishing around 9 o'clock. We had some time earlier, so that time will be well spent so that we can regroup for joining tomorrow. So till that time, have a relaxing time. Thank you all. Stay safe. Let us join together to say bye-bye. And also, because it is now close to the 9 o'clock, national anthem is not allowed, but at least we can play this.
Good evening to one and all present here this evening. We know your morning was filled with back-to-back academic feasts to both nurture and quench your knowledge thirst. To give you a break from academic exhaustion and the mundane COVID situation, we, the team of IAGES 2021,